Bill Gates buying up all
Farmland.
of the farmland.
Yeah, that's
Because
control of food.
not only control the food, it's deeper. These ninjas,
Joe Biden.
white ninjas, have come up with a technology that is, I think they call it RNA resistant crop. Not GMO no more. GMO, it don't grow again. You feel me? You grow one time, it decimates the soil, it's dead. GMO was cancer for soil. This RNA resistant crop, you are able to engineer the seed to search and destroy a certain type of genetic composition. They can make a seed that will target black people. So when you ingest the fruit and vegetable, it automatically goes to attack on your immune system.
Yes. Damn.
Imagine putting the AIDS virus in your food. Bill Gates buying up all of the farmland.
Yeah, that's
Because
control of food.
not only control the food, it's deeper.
Elders of Great Millstone, call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, Shalom Labuharium. Amen. Yeah, as you saw it, you know, that very well may be in effect, not saying that information is accurate, but, you know, at this point, you know, what is the devil incapable of? You know, we see all kind of chaos and mayhem that's on the earth. And we're living in those times, man. We're living in a time of different plagues. We're living in a time of, you know, famines, all right, death, hell, okay? And I was just skimming over Revelation 6, which this is a bad chapter, man. You know, when it goes into these different seals that the Most High is going to open up in the time to come. You know, the seals have definitely been opened. Okay, we're seeing all kind of, you know, inflation, hyperinflation, recession, talks of recession, potential bank runs, bail-ins, you know, which is all prophesied in the Holy Scriptures, all prophesied in the book of Revelation. And you Christians out there, you know, when you read the book of Revelations, it's like basically a dark room, man. Like, there's a place in New Jersey, it's called the Liberty Science Center. And you can go in there and everybody wanted to go through, like, it was like a dark room or whatever the case is. And Liberty Science Center was basically a place where, you know, Esau would show off his new technology, right? And everybody, you know, you go in there and there was all kind of virtual games you could play and do, you know. But one of the main ones was the dark room. I'll never forget, it was like a puzzle or whatever the case is. And like basically you had to make your way from one end of like of the drawing board to the next, but you were in like you had this film on the wall and go, you know. And that's likened unto, you know, what we're in right now. And in that dark room, like, you weren't always making it to the end. Sometimes you would go a certain way and then you would get stuck and they would have to take you out. Like, you know, basically you weren't able to participate. Only certain people made it to the end, you know. And we're living in the very, you know, it's like a maze. That's the best way I could put it. You know how you when you were young, you get the little pen and you got to go a certain way to get to the end, and it's a maze. A maze, yeah. That's what it was. It was a dark maze. And that's what the book of Revelations is likened unto you Christians and the rest of the world when they read it. But when you read this and you see, that's why the scriptures is going to jump out the page in these times. All right. The scriptures are going to jump off the page in these times. All right. They're going to come to fruition. The world's going to know that the Holy Bible is the word of the Lord. And the Israelites, starting from the ones that came out of One West, got it right. Okay. And that's what they're scared of, because they don't go into the book of Revelation, right? And just, you know, because if you ask your pastor who this is talking about, they always say the anti-type, right? The Antichrist. Oh, that's the Antichrist, brother. That's the end. Oh, we ain't gonna see that, brother. We're not gonna see that. You know, that's when the Antichrist comes. That's the Antichrist. So see, if you don't understand who the anti-Messiah is, or what the anti-Messiah is, then you're not gonna be able to discern the times. Because the spirit of Yahushua is what? The spirit of prophecy. The testimony of those, the spirit of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. All right, those that have the testimony, those that are the witnesses, those that can identify the end times. Okay, and then that makes you what? His friend, because you understand the secrets and you will be delivered and covered in these last days. Okay, but I just want to read one of them. Well, I'll start with the fourth one, Revelation 6:7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name sat on him was Death, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, with hunger, and with death, and with beasts, and with the beast of the earth. Okay? So death, so they show you right there that the concept of hell, all right? So this is a him. It was who is death? Satan is never likened unto death. All right. According to you Christians, Satan fell out of heaven because he had a bout with the Most High, and the Most High cast him into under everlasting darkness. He down there with his demons. So how is, because this is talking about on the earth. Okay, this is happening on the earth. Okay, he says beasts of the earth, the earth. This is going to happen on earth. So who's death? Death, like to who? The son of perdition. All right, who's the son of perdition? Esau, Edom. Okay, as a nation, because the Most High always deals with nations of people. The Most High don't deal with individualities. He's talking about a nation of people. Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. Okay, let me go up. Like I said, I was just skimming through this and it made me think of that. Well, I thought of that, and then that video we watched from the beginning, then I went back and I said, let me, I was looking for particular words, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the time that we're living in, man. All right. And again, it's jumping off the pages. All right. Let me get to, there's one in particular I want. Yep. This is Revelation 6:4. Let me start at verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. You see? And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Okay? So it said what? He's going to take peace from the earth. All right? And they shall kill one another. And that's what all these things that are happening right now. You see people are becoming more grimier, more vexed because of the circumstances. That Silicon Valley Bank, that was just a trial run. That's going to more situations going to happen like that at a faster rate, especially as we see the monopolizing of the earth. All right, when you read, I'm sorry, not read, but if you play that game Monopoly, right? First of all, the word monopoly means monopoly, means mono means one, poly means many. So you're turning all into one. And what did you do in that game? You bought property, you set up houses, basically projects, knocked them down, made casinos. All right. And then what would happen after the person on the board who wouldn't have enough property, or you didn't land on their property and they didn't have the value that everyone else had, right? They would have to turn all theirs in, and what? They would have to give it into whatever, who else was being loaned to the bank. But at the end, towards the end, basically everybody get knocked off, and then you just have this one person, right? What did that person do? Basically take over the bank. All right, he because remember, one player would start off as the bank, right? But he may have a couple extra properties, right? But then the next person, he may have all the properties, and then you take everything and you become the bank. And then now what? You own everything. After everyone had to flip their cards and had to turn in their mortgage. That's what's happening. All right, and what is that going to do? That's going to bring a lot of hell. It's going to bring a lot of death. What did the what was the red horse in the third verse? It said what? And they should kill one another. And that's what the scriptures tell you in 2nd Ezra, right? Was it 15? I haven't brought it out in a while. Yeah, here we go. 2nd Ezra 15:15. For the sword and the destruction, right, draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? Because the mayors, they get the funding from these different banking systems. The governors, they get funding from these different banking systems. They're not attached to the Federal Reserve. All right. The Federal Reserve is a separate entity. So once they realize that the people who they put the names in for the ballot holds no power because they don't control the money, then they're going to come after them because everyone was told to put their trust in those different politicians. All right. So it's all one big trickle effect by Esau Edom, because the scriptures tell you what, he's wiser than the children of light. And when you go into that parable, it's because what? He knows he's counting the cost. It's his cost to count anyway. All right. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power, because the power is going to go away from the system that's set up right now. And that's when Esau going to really come through and set up his own government. All right. When the banking families come and set up their own government, very similar to when you watch The Purge, the movie The Purge. When you watch the movie The Purge, it was a battle about what type of government was coming in. There was a separate government outside of the rest of the regular governments that was coming in. They were establishing their own rule. They were no longer doing things the old way. All right. It says, but because their pride, their city shall be troubled. No. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right. Why is that? Because of a new banking system. You can't pay it. If the money ain't worth nothing, how you going to pay the toll to go to the next city? All right. It says what? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right. Yeah, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. See, there's going to be a lot of robbery going on. All right. Why? Because of this man, because of what he's doing, how he's manipulating the earth, how he's manipulating the course of earth. It says, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See, that's why there's going to be all this. Let's go back to the red horse again. All right. And power was given to him that sat upon thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. You see? And he had opened the third seal. I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he sat upon him, had a pair of balances in his hand. What is the balances? Balances represent the measure of, typically grains, goods, and that would determine how much money you would have. All right. And the balances right now are being tipped from one end to another. It's completely unbalanced. All right. And the scripture tell you a false balance is an abomination unto the Lord. So if you have an abominable work being done scant in measure, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to have more violence. Okay. It says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. All right. And when you go into that word penny, let's get it, because if I'm not mistaken, it represents a day's wages. All right. For some wheat, for something, something small. Yeah, a Roman silver coin, it took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC, increased to 16. All right. All right. Tell you how many grams, how many ounces it was. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire from the parable of the laborers in the vineyard. It would seem that a denarius was then ordinary pay for a day's wages. Yeah, it's denarius. It was a day's
Strong's
wages.
G 1220. Denarion.
Yeah, so just imagine you make $300, $400 a day. That's how much it's going to cost for some bread. All right. And see, thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And we read this one, death and hell. See, all these things are going to follow, man. Death and hell follow him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death. Okay, now we seeing it all come manifest, man. All right, the stages where these seals are being opened up. Okay. It says, and when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held, right? Because that's going to be the opposition of the chaos that they caused. All right, you're going to have men popping up with food. But how do you get food, man? All the food gone. You know? Why? Because of miracles. So you're going to have to put, so what Esau in his mind, he's going to have to put those men to death. You're going to have to put those individuals to death that are able to survive during all this hell he's creating. Okay? So it says, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And you know, but that's pretty much the point. That's all I want to get. I don't want to make this long. It's not like a whole breakdown. Nonetheless, you see it, what it just said, you know, how the men that died, they're going to be up in the heavens for a little season, pleading unto the Lord. Just like Yahweh Shai is pleading unto the Lord for the death of the saints. Okay? He's pleading unto the Lord. He's pleading unto the Most High. Yahweh Shai is pleading unto the Most High to come back and avenge the blood of the saints. Okay? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to go too much into it. I'm going to close on that. As you saw, you know, whether or not that's true is just showing you that this man is the devil, man. One way, shape, or another. Even if you thought that's possible, you know that this man is the devil. All right? Shalom.